What if I told you that some foods, when reheated, can quietly damage your health, especially for seniors over 60? Today we're diving into the 3 foods you should never reheat, and 3 you absolutely should. Before we begin, if you care about your health, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Here we uncover rarely shared truths. If this resonates, comment 1. If not, comment 0. If you're struggling with similar issues, share below and I'll do my best to help. You might be surprised to learn that something as simple as reheating your favorite leftovers could quietly be harming your health, especially as you age. While it might seem like a convenient way to save time and reduce waste, the truth is reheating the wrong foods can weaken your digestion, trigger inflammation, and even impair your memory, balance, and joint strength without you ever realizing it. Scientific studies, including those published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition and the Journal of Food Science, have shown that certain common foods, once reheated, undergo chemical changes that make them not only less nutritious, but potentially harmful, particularly for people over 60. At first glance, microwaving last night's dinner or warming up something in the pan may seem harmless, normal even. But what if those habits are silently undermining your efforts to stay healthy and independent? What if the food you thought was saving time is actually costing you energy, stability, and long-term wellness? In this video, you'll discover 3 foods seniors should never reheat, and 3 foods that actually become healthier when warmed the right way. Believe it or not, some foods actually become more beneficial when reheated if you do it right. While you may have heard that reheating vegetables destroys their nutrients, that's not entirely true. Cruciferous vegetables actually maintain much of their nutritional profile when gently reheated. These vegetables contain sulforaphane, a powerful compound that supports brain function, reduces inflammation, and aids in detoxifying your body. When these veggies are steamed, cooled, and then reheated lightly, their fiber becomes gentler on your digestive system, helping reduce bloating and constipation. Brown rice, when cooled and then reheated, forms something called resistant starch. It feeds your healthy gut bacteria, supports better digestion, and helps regulate blood sugar, which is critical for seniors managing energy levels or prediabetes. Even better, reheating brown rice doesn't destroy this resistant starch if done gently. That means you get slow-burning energy without the spike and crash that white rice or processed grains can cause. Just be sure to store cooked rice in the refrigerator right away and reheat thoroughly, because rice left at room temperature can become a breeding ground for harmful bacteria. Skinless chicken breast, turkey, or lean cuts of pork can all be reheated without losing their protein quality. Use low heat and avoid heavy sauces, which can turn healthy protein into a sodium bomb. Done right, reheating lean meats gives your body essential amino acids without adding stress to your digestive system. This is especially helpful if you're someone who doesn't cook from scratch every day, but still wants to maintain strength and mobility. Spinach might be a superfood when it's fresh or freshly cooked, but reheating it can turn it into something far less friendly to your body. Whitey, spinach contains high levels of nitrates, a compound that when exposed to high heat for a second time can convert into nitrites and then into nitroamines. Even more concerning, reheated spinach can interfere with your blood's ability to carry oxygen efficiently. This can lead to fatigue, confusion, or shortness of breath, especially in seniors who already have heart or respiratory concerns. If you're preparing spinach, it's best to cook only what you plan to eat right away. If you have leftovers, enjoy them cold in a salad or blend them into a smoothie, but avoid reheating it. Eggs are a breakfast staple, and many seniors rely on them for a quick source of protein. But once cooked, reheating eggs, especially scrambled or boiled ones, can cause structural changes in the protein that make them harder to digest. For older adults who may already have sensitive digestion or inflammatory conditions like arthritis, this can quietly worsen symptoms over time. If you've got leftover eggs, it's better to eat them cold or mix them into a fresh dish, rather than zap them in the microwave. Like rice, potatoes can harbor harmful bacteria, like Clostridium botulinum, if they're left out too long at room temperature. When cooked potatoes are cooled and then reheated, especially improperly, they can lose their resistant starch and develop a type of sugar structure that may spike your blood sugar levels dramatically. For seniors watching their glucose levels, this can lead to crashes, fatigue, or worse, long-term blood sugar imbalances. Reheating can convert those nitrates into the same harmful nitrites, which are linked to inflammation and other health issues. If you've cooked potatoes, eat them right away, or store them promptly in the fridge and consume them cold in salads. It's a common item found in almost every kitchen, and it seems safe, even healthy. But reheating it regularly might be slowly damaging your body in ways that are hard to notice until it's too late. It's something that shows up in lunchboxes, weekend night dinners, and even healthy meal prep plans. But when this food is reheated, especially the wrong way, it can quietly sabotage your health over time, particularly if you're over 60. In fact, as we mentioned earlier, lean meats like chicken breast are one of the better reheating options if done right. And for seniors whose bodies are more sensitive to subtle changes in food quality and digestion, that difference matters more than ever. But when you reheat chicken, especially if it's done quickly at a high temperature, like in a microwave, those proteins tighten up even more, making the meat harder to digest. But for someone over 60 whose stomach acid and enzyme production may have declined, this can lead to bloating, gas, or discomfort after eating. Chicken is notorious for being vulnerable to contamination, especially with Salmonella and Campylobacter. If you leave cooked chicken out at room temperature for more than 2 hours, bacteria can begin to grow again, especially in the inner layers of the meat, even if you reheat it later. Some of these bacteria can survive or leave behind toxins that heat doesn't destroy. For seniors with weakened immune systems, this could mean food poisoning, nausea, or worse, a serious infection that takes longer to recover from. Chicken, particularly the skin and darker cuts like thighs or drumsticks, contains polyunsaturated fats. When these fats are exposed to high heat a second time, especially in the microwave or frying pan, they can oxidize. They create what are known as free radicals, unstable molecules that promote inflammation, damage cells, and accelerate aging from the inside out. For older adults who are already trying to manage blood pressure, heart health, or joint pain, oxidized fats add another invisible layer of stress. You might feel more sluggish, more stiff, or mentally foggy, and not even realize that reheated chicken might be playing a part. Some people eat the same batch of reheated chicken 2 or 3 times over the week. A little more inflammation here, a little less digestion there, a touch more pressure on the immune system, and before you know it, your energy, memory, and even your mobility can be subtly affected. Instead, use low heat on the stove or oven and make sure it's heated evenly all the way through. These can disguise spoilage, and when reheated, the fat-sugar combinations can lead to even more inflammation. Seniors are more vulnerable to food-borne illness, and it's better to lose a portion of food than compromise your health. To sum it all up, the food that seems harmless, like reheated chicken, can carry invisible risks when you're not careful. It's about making choices that support your energy, clarity, and long-term health. So, learning which foods help and which ones quietly hurt is a step toward not just living longer, but living better. Cruciferous vegetables, brown rice, and lean meats if prepared and reheated the right way. A food that seems innocent, but can quietly damage your digestion, heart, and immune function if not handled with care. When you understand how food behaves and how your body reacts to it, you can make smarter choices every day without giving up the meals you enjoy. Because the truth is, the goal of this video isn't to make you afraid of leftovers. In fact, some foods actually become more beneficial to your body when warmed up a second time. When handled properly, certain foods can deliver more nutrients, better digestion, and even more support for your energy, brain, and immune system after 60. If you're like many health-conscious seniors, brown rice is probably a staple in your meals. But did you know that reheating brown rice the right way can actually boost its benefits? When brown rice is cooked and then cooled, it forms something called resistant starch, a type of fiber that isn't digested in the small intestine. Resistant starch feeds healthy gut bacteria, supports regular digestion, and can reduce inflammation in the colon. Brown rice must be cooled quickly after cooking and stored in the refrigerator in an airtight container. Bonus tip: add a splash of water and cover the container before microwaving to preserve moisture and avoid dryness. Food number 2. You should reheat cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. Cruciferous vegetables are often labeled as gas-producing or too fibrous for seniors, especially when eaten raw. When it's steamed or lightly cooked, it releases compounds like sulforaphane, a powerful antioxidant that supports detoxification, brain health, and even reduces cancer risk. In fact, it can enhance the availability of certain antioxidants when done gently. Avoid frying or microwaving on high, which can kill off the delicate compounds you're trying to benefit from. Food number 3, you should reheat lean meats like turkey or chicken breast, but with care. Lean meats like skinless chicken breast or turkey are low in fat and high in protein. When cooked well and stored properly, they can be safely reheated once and still offer excellent nutritional value. But many older adults don't get enough because they fear indigestion or foodborne illness from reheated meals. If done this way, reheated lean meats can be part of a healthy, safe, and protein-rich diet. Each time you reheat something, you have a chance to either support your body or stress it out. Have you been reheating any of the never foods without realizing the risks? Or are there other foods you're unsure about? 3 foods to avoid reheating and 3 that can bring surprising benefits when you do. Don't forget to subscribe for more content just like this. See you in the next video.